If I guess, it's a cheat because you told me. But now that you told me, well, one, I wouldn't have gotten it because I don't get anything. But two, now that you told me, Rhino, what this was coming into Good Things, because it's Friday, we have Tanya here. I see it. Like, I can see how those two match. Tanya didn't cheat because she's a good student. Do you have any idea which movie this is connected to?
I don't.
We were just talking about it.
Oh, Mickey. Mickey 17.
Yes. So is this which song is it, Rhino?
This is the original song, It's My Life by the Animals, that I believe was covered for the trailer, and they did all their epic trailer music work to it.
Gotcha. But now, what little bit I know of the movie, which you're going to tell us more, just I can see where it's a little like a kaleidoscope, little, whatever kind of mindset, and it feels like that's
kind of psychedelic.
Psychedelic. That's the word, kaleidoscope. But that's a little.
That kind of blows your mind too.
Yeah, that kind of blows your mind too. So, but that is coming out this week. So I know you hadn't seen it, but you probably have a little about it.
Yeah, it's, that music makes me want to see it even more. There's a vibe there.
There's a vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking like the young kids now.
But it's the story of Mickey Barnes and his friend that they're financially ruined. They have a business that failed and they're on the run from a loan shark. And they have this opportunity because they have no money and they've got to pay their debt to sign up for this mission. And they're on a spaceship that leaves Earth to colonize a planet. And Mickey signs up as an expendable, which means you're expendable. They send you out to do all these tests, and you do tests. They do tests on you, and if you
sign up for that,
you die, and they you're on dangerous mission. So that you're probably going to die, but when you do, they clone you, and so there's another one. So Mickey 17, I'm guessing is probably the 17th version of him, but it stars Robert Pattinson, who, if you're a Twilight fan, of course you know who he is. But, he is one of those that I think really a lot of the guys from Twilight have tried to distance themselves from that. And he was thrown into all the tabloid articles back in the day because he was dating Kristen Stewart and all that stuff.
Sure, he regrets that.
Yeah, and so I think he has chosen projects ever since then that are complete opposites. And to me, he has already proven he is a great actor, but they're saying this movie really showcases his talent because he plays all these versions of himself, or of his character. So it sounds very interesting. It is rated R, so just keep that in mind.
Anybody that would send you to the moon and you would sign up to die and be cloned is probably not a family friendly.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be an interesting one to see.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be good. And so that's really the only wide release this weekend. We're just in that time of year where it's kind of a lull. The Oscars just happened, so some of those movies that were nominated are being re-released. So if you missed them the first go round, I'm sure Anora, which won Best Picture, I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to go see that one that didn't. I did not like that movie, so I was very disappointed that it won Best Picture. But it did.
It did.
And it broke some records. Like it's director, writer, editor, and one more thing, a producer. His name is Sean Baker. He won all 4 Oscars in those categories.
Wow.
And so he broke a record. That's the most awards for one movie.
Remind us the recap of that movie.
It is the story of this stripper, basically, who she's in the club working one night, and this young Russian kid comes in. They meet and get married, very quickly. And he's from a very powerful family who is against the marriage.
wonder why.
So I guess the first half of the movie is kind of their relationship and the marriage and everything, and then the last part is the family finding out and them doing everything they can to annul this marriage, and she does everything she can to fight it because she's in love. So anyway, Mikey Madison plays the title character, and she won Best Actress, which was another big upset. I would have put money down on Demi Moore winning, so I was very, very surprised she didn't. You could hear the gasp in the room when they announced Mikey's name. But anyway, I just really wanted Demi to win. She's earned it. But yeah, no other really big upsets. Adrian Brody won Best Actor. Kind of expected, but I was kind of hoping Timothée Chalamet would pull it out because he just won the SAG Award, so I felt like he had a shot. And then the predictable category, Zoe Saldana and Kieran Culkin, they've won everything so far, so those were no surprises. But last week I was saying, okay, the Oscars, we're going to pare it down because they're not singing. They're not going to do the best song nominees like they usually do. But they tricked us. They still had music.
Yeah.
And what they did is they had the opening was kind of a tribute to Los Angeles because of the devastation they've recently suffered with the fires. They started off with Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then they went into Home, which is a song from The Wiz, and then they sang Defying Gravity from Wicked, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. And they were spectacular. It was great, but I think that the producers thought, okay, our 5 nominees this year are kind of duds. Nobody wants to see these live, so we're going to do something different. So they figured out a way to get Wicked in there. And Queen Latifah did a tribute to Quincy Jones, and she sang Ease on Down the Road, which is also from The Wiz. So that was my favorite part, I think, of the whole night was Queen Latifah. I thought that was fantastic. I thought Conan did a great job hosting. I feel like he'll be back next year for sure because I have not heard one negative thing about him. So anyway, and some history was made in addition to the 4 awards won by Sean Baker for Anora. The first black man won a costume design award for Wicked. And then Latvia won an award for, I believe it was either a documentary or an animated film. I can't remember. I think it was animated. And that...
Who won the new, you said there was a new category.
Oh, you know what? That's the Golden Globes.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I was wrong. But what the Oscars did is they expanded it from 5 to 10 and so that they could get some of those blockbusters in there so people would tune in.
Yeah, because, I mean, you would think that it would be an easy, like, Best Picture should be who sold the most butts and seats. That would make, like... make it make sense, in sort of that way. Yeah.
I'm just proud that Fuller from Home Alone, the little kid that wet the bed, won an Oscar.
I know. I mean, who would have thought? And what's so cool is in that same category is the guy, they're on, I want to say Severance, but that's not the right. It's a single word. What is that HBO show that Kieran Culkin was on?
Succession?
Yes, thank you. Succession. One of his co-stars on Succession was also nominated for supporting actor. And I mean, that's cool. I mean, that tells you the level of talent that was on Succession.
I liked his, I think it was Culkin's, was it his speech to his wife?
Yes.
She told him that they could go for a 4th kid or more kids after he won an Oscar.
Yeah, that was cool. And what was even better is someone after got up and said, I'm not giving you any more kids.
That would be me.
We won this Oscar, but we're not having any more kids. But all in all, it was good. A nice night.
So when does the new season officially begin? Like now?
I don't know now, but I don't think there's an official start date as far as,
when it was released? Or
Yeah,
anything?
I mean, they definitely have
End date.
a time period that the movie has to be released to be considered. But as far as the studios trying to get the Academy's attention, I think they wait until later in the year because that's closer to voting time, and it's just on their minds, you know.
Yeah, I got that. All right, will be an interesting year. Tanya, thank you for your time. Stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.